This is the Demystifying Mental Toughness Podcast, hosted by David Charlton, and you're listening to this podcast to help you build your own mental toughness, so that you can support other people or your clients better. Either way, you will learn more about developing this plastic personality trait that all but guarantees that you will perform better and lead a more prosperous life. Hi there from a bright and sunny, yet cold Newcastle upon Tyne. Yes, it's a beautiful day, a beautiful morning that is, with hardly any clouds in the sky as I record this episode, which is lovely. But as soon as you step outside, it is fresh out there. So it's fair to say autumn is well and truly on its way. Now this episode links to being on the golf course. When I was on the golf course, I dreamt up this episode. So I'm going to go on to share some insights into pre-shot routines and triggers, shall we say. I often get asked the question by people, what trigger move should I do? Or what trigger word should I say to myself? What should I put in my pre-shot routine? So I'm going to explain and I'm going to answer that question. But firstly, I'm going to treat you, the listener, as a bit of a novice around pre-shot routines. So I'm going to talk about what it actually is. So I alluded to golf. A pre-shot routine in golf is thinking about the 1 minute before you actually take the club back and hit the golf ball. It's having a set way of going about your business. So it might be that you're scanning the environment, you're checking the yardage, you're looking at the wind, and you're making a decision on what type of shot and what club you're going to hit. That's one part of the process. The next thing might well be that you're checking in on your state. Are you feeling confident, apprehensive, overconfident, and aggressive perhaps? Do you need to adjust your state, perhaps with a trigger? Another thing is practice swings. Some people like taking practice swings. Some might take one, some might take two, some might take 100. At least those golfers who don't trust themselves and they're trying to manufacture and organize the perfect golf swing. Then we've got visualization. So it might well be when you're standing behind the ball or when you're actually doing the practice swings that you're visualizing yourself standing over the ball and taking the club back beautifully and then coming in crisply and striking the ball and then seeing the ball trace off your club with real detail. Picturing the trajectory, high, low, drawing, fading, whatever it is that you want it to do, and then landing close to a precise target, or maybe a bigger target, which then takes me on to a target focus. Some people are very, very target focused, and they want a very, very small spot on the green or the fairway that they see the ball's going to land. Others want that bigger, larger spot. It means less pressure. Then, if we think about pre-shot routines and the psychological side, we've got attention. Where is it that you're going to place your attention before you take the club back? Do you place it on a specific spot on the ball, a number, a logo? And then for how long? Is it just an immediate glance? Or is it 5 seconds, 10 seconds that you actually wait? Calm yourself down, quieten the mind. For some people, this works a treat. It really helps aid their rhythm and their timing. For others, they hate it. They just want to get on with their business of hitting the golf ball. But then, is that down to anxiety, I wonder? Then we've got trigger words. So what words might you say to yourself? Personally, I like the words smooth swing because I like to concentrate on rhythm and timing and have zero swing thoughts. With other people, I've had the word present. I've used commit, trust, all sorts of words in pre-shot routines to help people. Now, one thing you can do to really help yourself with pre-shot routines is actually to write down some key steps. And it might not be that you include all of these things. It might be that you just choose 1 or 2 or 3. Everybody is a little bit different. The key is that your natural rhythm and your natural timing is harnessed, is helped by your pre-shot routine and the way that you go about your business. Now, on to triggers. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I really want to look at triggers. So triggers can be used at any point in the routine. Some might do it at the very start, some might do it in the middle or the end. At the end of the day, it is to try and divert your attention. That's why you might use a trigger to start with. So for those who struggle with their focus and with their concentration, this could be really, really useful for you. Now, if we think about triggers, Louis Oosthuizen, around about 15 years or so ago, in the Open Championship Golf. So in the Open Championship Golf, he had a red dot on his glove. And he had his way about going through his routine, which always ended with him looking at this red dot, and then he'd go and strike the ball or the putt. Does he use that red dot method now? No. Did he use that method in the tournament afterwards? No. So what I'm trying to say here is triggers change. And I'm going to emphasize that as well with somebody else that I worked with. This time it was a tennis player. So we talked about commit being a word when they served. So they would go through their routines, and just before they're about to go about serving the ball, they would say to themselves, commit, as in commit to what it is that you're trying to achieve. And they did that for, I think it was around about 2 to 3 weeks. So numerous matches, numerous training sessions, and it worked a treat. But then all of a sudden, they found themselves becoming overly aggressive. A little bit jerky too. It wasn't free flowing. So we had to change that trigger word to trust. And we went through another 2 or 3 weeks with trust. And then they got bored of trust and they needed to shake it up again. Now, this is what the brain does. We get comfortable. We get bored with certain things. So you might have a routine now that you use. However, if you want to be really on it, really concentrated, really focused, that pre-shot routine needs fine-tuning every now and again. To some, it might be every 2 or 3 weeks. To others, it might be 2 or 3 months. Obviously, I've highlighted golf. I've highlighted tennis too there. But if you think about the batter or the bowler in cricket, the shooter in netball, in basketball, the penalty kicks in rugby or football, pre-shot routines are a real key part of their performance. I really hope you find these nuggets of advice useful. Please do reach out to me. If you've got any questions, get in touch. I'm happy to answer via WhatsApp or by email. Or if you'd like to have a conversation, we can chat about pre-shot routines too. Yeah, you take care, and I hope you have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode of the Demystifying Mental Toughness Podcast with David Charlton, do check out my website, sport-excellence.co.uk, and my online sports psychology resources. The Sport-Excellence website has essential resources for anyone looking to build their own mental toughness or the mental toughness of their athletes or teams, or if you want to achieve peak performance more often or optimal functioning. The Sport Excellence website has everything you need to keep moving forward and thrive. So go on, head over to sport-excellence.co.uk to find out more.